Hello and welcome to Cinematography Podcast, where we break down and review a movie of my choosing. Try and have a little bit of fun. I'm your host, Drag King Thomas Hughes.
I'm Hayden, and we're going to watch Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Right?
On Stranger Tides?
One of those. One of them. Oh no, it's not that one. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
No.
Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
Hayden.
Dark Shadows.
Just close your mouth and just be quiet for a good 2 minutes.
Okay.
Well, James, you're back again.
Hello.
Because today we're discussing Aquaman.
Yeah.
Or if you're posh, Aquaman.
I forgot I watched loads of Johnny Depp films afterwards just to cleanse my mind. I forgot about that.
Poor man.
Got a bit confused.
Right. This was released in 2018, 1 year after the failed theatrical Justice League movie. That's why there's literally like a massive year gap. The movie was directed by Malaysian director James Wan, a horror director who helmed The Conjuring, which kicked off a horror-focused universe, similar to, obviously, the DC universe, but all horror-focused. He's also one of the two men to bring the Saw franchise to life, as well as the Insidious franchise. And this wasn't his first non-horror movie, because back in 2015 he helmed Fast and Furious 7. There's a lot of callbacks here to jokes we've had before recording. So, we're just going to move on there.
Was it his choice to have him crash on the tree or not?
We're going to move on to Hayden. So ironically, it's that movie. We're going to give some early thoughts as usual. So, I'll kick off as we usually do. And I very much enjoy Aquaman. I very much love it. It's a lot different to what we had the previous movies like before this, and obviously watched the taste of the failed Justice League as well at your mouth. Obviously the tonage is completely different. It's obviously a lot lighter, a lot laughier, but this works for the fact that, come on, it's Aquaman. You're never meant to take him seriously. I feel like if it was too serious, it wouldn't work. But unless it was helmed by Zack Snyder. But for the case of this, it works being this comedy movie with a few dark moments, I will say that, but they don't overshadow the lighter tone that this movie is.
It's like how I was saying while we're watching it, it reminded me of like the Ragnarok 4. But the went from him being serious, went for the more jokey nature, and it worked well, and it's got that same kind of feel. Yeah.
That makes sense to me, yeah.
And did good.
James just ticking off his notes. Yep, agree with that one, agree with that one, agree with that one, agree with that one.
Everything I can think of, yep, nothing to add. I just nod and agree.
I definitely agree. I definitely said this one in my notes. Tick that. Yep, definitely said that. Just not going to copy them. Not going to jump on the bandwagon. Tick that.
Or James has got the one comment he's going to make about the random fall guy, and that's it.
That's James's one moment to show. It's the only reason he wanted to come on the Aquaman podcast, so he can talk about the guy. And Toilet Guy. Don't forget Toilet Guy.
His new favourite now.
I forgot about
his new favourite character. Oh yeah, his new favourite character that you already forgot about.
Then again, I forgot about internet browser history and Suicide Squad, so...
Fair enough. But yeah, it's a really solid movie, and obviously it's great because Jason Momoa brings his usual charm, his serious nature at times, but also his goofy jokes.
I like him.
If only the curse wasn't there.
Hayden's going to spend the entire podcast just jab, 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 jab.
Oh yes, definitely.
No, I think it's punch, 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 punch.
Well, it is her. It is her. Wouldn't put it past her.
Go for the knockout, Hayden.
I suppose what she did to him as well.
Oh, make sure you push him down the stairs as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah, throw some stuff at him as well. Maybe.
Right. Can you two stop talking about banned subjects now? I'm banning that subject.
Well, then what else we got to talk about?
Says the person who said the S word on Twitch.
I fucking forgot, didn't I?
Wait, was it you or was it me?
No, it was me. It was me. I said it.
I remember saying.
And Hayden just got beeped.
Movie.
Yes, we're talking about the movie. Aquaman. Good movie. Good action. Good good bit of
Yeah.
horror. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very different movie for James Wan, I will say, because obviously watching all these
Yeah.
other movies, other than Fast and Furious, as they the Saw movies, Insidious, Conjuring, Dead Silence.
I'd rather not.
All these movies obviously are full-on horror-focused movies, which is obviously a lot different to what this is. Because obviously, probably helped the fact that he helmed Fast and Furious 7, because obviously that was a more lighter-hearted movie, so it probably helped him helming that. Obviously, then coming into this, it does have that obviously James Wan stamp in terms of the trench sequence. That is obviously the fucking straight-up James Wan stamp of horror. But
Mm-hmm.
other than the rest of it, it just does not feel like a James Wan movie. But that's not a dig, because it's a very good movie. I do like James Wan as a director. The only James I like.
What about James Gunn?
Oh,
Sorry, one of the two James I like.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of any other James.
Yeah, I really can't think of any other James. Oh, James Marsden, the guy from X-Men. He was in
James
Sonic as well. James McAvoy as well. Ah, yeah, I forgot about him. Ah, I can't think of any more Jameses.
I think of one, but he's a bit weird, and no one really likes him. Right. I mean, who really likes James Charles? I thought something about some kind of ray or something. But isn't that the guy that killed Steve Irwin? So no, I don't like him. Not a big fan of the ray.
Okay, well, let's move on then. So obviously the opening sequence of this movie, which is obviously you meet Queen Atlanta, Tom Curry, and obviously young Arthur.
Fish girl bangs lighthouse guy.
James' next job. Oh, James Ray, that's it.
Oh yeah. Oh, isn't he in prison? Well, it should be. I looked at his brother's history. He fucking should be. The amount of lollipop.
Cryo sounds pretty good right now.
So you're with us for the next few weeks.
Oh,
I don't know if that was him creaming his pants or just being depressed.
Well, both of you did say you'd have Amber Heard punch you in the face, so all I'm saying is you both deserve it.
oh God! I should stop playing Cry Me a River. Because Buble, I will cry you a river.
Thanks a fucking Buble.
You're allowed to just so I have more Buble references.
We're so off topic already. It's unbelievable. But yeah. So again, for a DC movie, it's got a really solid opening sequence. The fact, obviously, we get to meet these two characters, watch them fall in love, and then basically get to watch like this really cool action sequence where the camera just spins around and she's beating the crap out of all the Atlantean soldiers, which is a really fucking well shot and well choreographed fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Obviously,
So,
it's unique.
The fighting scene is very it's quite similar to Kingsman. Do you know the church scene?
Yeah.
The camera flows, not really much cuts. Bit like that.
Yeah, it's like one shot, just like following the protagonist. But obviously, this time instead of like full on like focusing on the one, it like spins around, doesn't it, in a circle?
Yeah.
Which is really, really unique.
And as you know, I do love a bit of Kingsman, so I'm obviously going to like this.
I love the dog.
James, you want to put that out there?
Thanks for your input there.
Yeah, thanks for your input there, James.
Dogs are great. The movie wouldn't be the same without the dog.
That dog that's in one scene.
Yeah.
You do realise, James, he's not in the future scene, so the dog's dead.
What?
Oh,
I never thought about this. What? No!
Oh, wait till Jane watches fucking Marley and Me. He'd be like suicidal.
Oh, well, mate, I Am Legend. He's definitely going to blow his brains out after that.
I've seen I Am Legend before.
After like 1 minute, he turned it off because it was a scary vampire.
Oh, no.
I think I broke him though, Hayden. That's my job done. See you later, guys.
Yeah.
Just leave him in the car by himself. But yeah, obviously, the scene obviously doesn't end with the fight. Obviously, she heads back into the sea, and we follow in a younger Arthur when he obviously reveals his powers of being able to control the aquatic life in the aquarium when he's getting bullied. And he's got all these he's got his light up eyes now, and title card of Aquaman. So
Fish boy.
so yeah, I'll give him credit. Once again, a knockout opening scene to draw you into this movie and get you like fully locked into what you're going to watch the next 2 hours and I'd say 5 minutes, because it's probably about 10 minutes intro, 5 minutes. Yeah, but say 2 hours, 5 minutes.
It's a little look look into his origins, but not a massive full look into it.
Yeah,
because we don't really need that because we've already been introduced to him. So they just go with the whole little brief. These are parents. They fuck. This is the baby version. Look, he has got powers over little fishes and dolphins and shit. It's cool. And then obviously cuts to him being
badass.
what humans call Aquaman.
Yeah.
It's really good. He's a geek. I'll try and do a what's his face? Jim Carrey, geek. But then my
I literally think.
there
he is. There he is. I thought James had gone.
I'm having. Just give me 5 minutes.
Okay, so we'll move ahead into the cast and characters of the movie. So first off, obviously, is Arthur Curry, Aquaman, played by Jason Momoa again, who we saw obviously in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and also the theatrical failed attempt at Justice League. He was in a little movie called Braven, which is a very nice little movie.
Andy Banderas.
We said that last week. We can't keep repeating the same thing.
We Banderas again then, okay?
Fair enough. But yeah, he's obviously one of the standouts of this movie. I think that most for all the cast, apart from someone who Hayden's not. I'm going to try and brush over real quick with Hayden around. I think all the cast. I think they chose a perfect cast for this movie.
Almost perfect, yeah.
I think he's obviously the forehead of this greatness for the fact that it's Jason fucking Momoa. He's amazing as he fucking ever could be. And he's got the comedy, he's got the seriousness, he's got the action, he's got everything to him. And
got the Henry Cavill abs, yeah.
Every DC movie used to have a guy shirtless. Simple as.
He's got the mustache as well. He's also got a really nice beard underneath it, but
I think he's unbroken there.
Just talk about shirtless Henry Cavill and shirtless Jason Momoa, and he's back in.
You forget that the dog's probably dead.
Oh God!
Oh no! but yeah, I feel like I literally can't see anyone else as Aquaman other than Jason Momoa.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like, because obviously, this is the best version of Aquaman that ever has been. Because for once, like, he's not really a joke anymore, and I think that's what makes him so cool. Like, he actually looks like he would be some kind of demigod, instead of being like some man guy in tights who talks to fishes and goes, water powers activate, and then gets owned easily. But in this, he's fucking badass.
Well, he's Jason Momoa.
Mm.
I do recommend watching Braven if you ever get a chance. He's really badass in that.
I'd say he's got a good ass, but
Well, I won't disagree with you there. So, James, input? Or is your mind broken again?
Or is you still thinking just Momo's ass?
Just assume that you've said everything that I can think of.
Come on, James, come on, get into this conversation, sir. We didn't just gather you on just so you can like kill yourself in the first 5 minutes because you said the dog might be dead. Oh no, I've done it again.
Yeah, that's just a perk.
Yes, I agree.
So you agree? So you agree that Amber Heard should be released? That's disgusting. You are disgusting now.
You better say Alex said.
Well, I think it's disgusting. I think of Alex. So
Jason Momoa, yes, good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, then we'll move on. So obviously the second character I'm going to very quickly brush over to show Hayden, is Mira, played by Amber Heard, or redacted it as if you Hayden, who was in John Carpenter's The Board, and I'm going to quickly brush over it because Hayden's going to have many jokes smashing at the park in a minute. So she's redacted for Hayden. I bet she does a good job. Moving on. Next up, this is shut Hayden up. Next up, we have Volko, played by William Dafoe, who was in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, and obviously he was in the Snyder Cut version of Justice League. With this version, obviously, he doesn't have his long ass hair like he did in that version. It's all obviously tied back up, but I think we both agree, Hayden. We love William Dafoe.
Yeah,
he's great in Spider-Man. He was good in that one John Wick movie, and he's very good in this as well. He obviously plays that advisor role because obviously we made a lot of references, like comparisons to obviously Black Panther, which came out the same year, and obviously I very much point out the fact that he's basically this movie's version of I forgot his fucking name already. Forrest Whitaker. He's basically this film's version of his character from Black Panther, this advisor role to the king. But obviously, he's got more of a gender here for the fact that he's obviously working for Arthur secretly. Like, hey, I work for the king. I want you to be king. But
he strokes Momoa's like chest and goes, "You're my king."
Yeah, basically. But fucking Willem Dafoe. He, as usual, he's really good.
Yep.
James is still broken. Okay, we'll move on to our villain.
It doesn't help that I was just scrolling through credits for William Dafoe and I saw Dog Eat Dog.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I don't care that she ate that goldfish. I'm just really sad that dog is dead.
Well, he might be. He might not be. But then again, Jason Momoa is like how old in this film? So yeah, the dog's probably dead.
Oh, she had to eat.
Yeah, for all we know, Jason Momoa may have eaten the dog. He might have gone, I remember my memory within my memory. I didn't see it, but I somehow have this memory of my mum eating a fish. Hey, doggy! Oh!
You look kind of like a fish.
Okay, we'll move on then to the character, which is obviously King Orm, played by Patrick Wilson, who was in James Wan's The Conjuring. So it's one of his, obviously, the people he's worked with before, and he does play a very menacing Orm. He plays this basically sort of arrogant. He thinks he's like Mr. Big Shot sort of guy. Like, fuck you. Yeah, he's got this sort of like 80s sort of musical, slick back hair, school jock sort of look to him. But yeah, I like Patrick Wilson in a lot of other films he's done. Obviously, The Conjuring, he's really good in that. Insidious, he's good in that. There's been obviously quite a lot of stuff over the years. He was also the voice of the president in Batman vs Superman, which is weird. That he then goes and plays King Orm in this. But yeah, I like Orm thanks to the Aquaman Justice League animated movie, which was like the Throne of Atlantis, where he's voiced by I fucking forgot his name. He was in Smallville and he's been in Supergirl and he was in Star Wars and he's been in loads of shit. No, forgot his name. People, I'll just put a picture on the screen. I know I'm on about. Basically, Orm was basically again. He pretty much played as this really arsehole-ish character, which he is in this. And I like Orm and I like Patrick Wilson, so two good things there.
Yeah. I mean, I prefer Patrick Stewart, but yeah.
Imagine Patrick Stewart with a fucking blonde hair, dude. That would have been funny.
Just a wig.
that would have been good. We'll move on then to our next villain, which is obviously Black Manta, played by, here we go, Abdul Mateen 2.
That sounds pretty good.
Who was in the Watchmen series where he played Dr. Manhattan. Who was a lot of people compared in that series to looking like what was it, the really nice looking version of Squidward and SpongeBob, the beautiful looking Squidward when he has his face smashed in with a door.
Like the Chad looking one.
I think we're on the same sort of vision here. But basically, a lot of people compared the look of him to that compared to obviously the movie version, which is more badass looking, whereas his version looked more like Squidward for some reason. But yeah, in terms of this movie though, Black Panther. We're talking too much about Black Panther moments ago. Black Manta, sorry,
Great film, great.
is one of the characters that I'll come at this film loving even more. Obviously, we saw him in Young Justice, and I've seen him in a few of films, like animated films and whatnot. And I've always liked Black Manta to an extent, and obviously he was in Injustice too. But after watching him in this, I'm very much looking forward to see where they go in the future movies with Black Manta as more of a threat. Because obviously in this version he wasn't as much as a threat. He was more of obviously just a little appetizer before the finale.
Basically setting him up, basically.
Yeah. So I'm like very interested to see where they go. And I like the new design of his suit. It's obviously very badass looking. It obviously merges his like opening suits design with his like a Atlantean look. So and plus we're obviously pointing out there's that little reference to his sort of comic accurate suit when he's building the suit. Obviously the helmet, the silver helmet like he has in the comics, but obviously this time around they went with the black, straight up black design and red eyes instead of the silver and black. I mean silver and red. My words are getting confused here. But yeah, I love Black Manta's movie. I think he's played very well.
Yep.
Thanks for the input there, James.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's see. Well, next character we have is King Nereus, who's played by Dolph Lundgren, who is in Rocky 4. And he basically plays the character as if he was played by Dolph Lundgren. He has that same sort of pretty much usual Dolph Lundgren charm he has in every film he does. Obviously he plays Mira's dad in this, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He plays, I mean, unfortunate bloodline.
Yeah. I think he's alright in this film. He obviously doesn't do that much within the movie. He just has these few scenes where he just shoots some people and whatnot, but I think he's just alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, move on to the next character then, so we can quickly get for this segment. Lastly...
He was in Always Sunny.
Who?
Dolph.
John
Thundergun?
Possibly. I don't know if it's in one I've seen yet.
Oh, sorry, spoilers.
It might be a newer one. I'm not too sure. I don't know.
So it's from 2019.
Yeah, new one then.
Oh, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert.
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
So lastly, we have Tom Curry, who's played by Temuera Morrison. I don't know how you pronounce that either. Who is in The Mandalorian, and he brings another like, sort of comedy vibe to it when he's on screen. I was in the bar sequence, and he's very clearly drunk. So
he was in Dora.
Yeah, he was a bad guy in Dora.
Yeah.
James just creamed his pants again.
Oh, for God's sake.
Who the fuck was Powell?
What?
He played Powell?
Yeah, he was a bad guy in it.
Which I'm trying
to... Not the main bad guy, the bad guy who was before the main one. The one that looked like the main bad guy, but then it was revealed that he wasn't. Spoiler alert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the one who says he got yo-yoed. Okay, that's funny.
But yeah, obviously he's another character that you don't get that much of, and I just realised I missed someone off my notes. I'll do that one as well, so it's not lastly. He's another one that doesn't obviously have a lot of screen time in this movie. He's literally there for the opening, at the bar scene, and then obviously the scene at the very end. But you know, he again does a good job when he's on.
Agreed. He's pretty
looking somber. Yeah, that pretty much defines his character.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he enjoyed doing it with the fish lady. So yeah.
Talking to fish ladies, that's the one I missed off my fucking notes. So obviously we have Queen Atlanta, who's of course played by Nicole Kidman, who was in. Tom's going to take a pick of the draw here. She was in the movie Paddington. There you go.
Paddington was also in the movie King Kong versus
For fuck's sake, not that fucking joke again. Obviously, again, she's the one that's in the opening and then the sort of last act. So Again, she's quite funny in the opening sequence. That was that one bit where she's with the fish and the dog. The dog that's probably dead, James. She has that humorous moment, with, obviously, when she's sort of staring at the dog, and the dog's like, "What?" And then she eats the fish, of course, and she's like, and
Don't eat the dog.
yeah, she doesn't eat the dog. Just goes naturally. I
hope it lived a good life.
It was owned by Jason Momoa, so probably did.
But it was riddled.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Nicole Kidman does a good job as well. Again, she's another one that's not like a major step off her out. Obviously, she's there for plot purposes at the end to make sure the fighting everything stops and stuff like that. And to bang the lighthouse keeper.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think she does a good job.
And Keith and he'd agree as well.
I'm not going to go into too much detail with these ones, but I just want to point out obviously some voice roles that are in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Carafen, it's voiced by Julia Andrews, who was Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
I never thought Mary Poppins would be so scary, but she's very menacing. The Brian King, he's voiced by John Rhys Davies, who was in Lord of the Rings. He played Gimli.
Mm-hmm.
He just does the usual voices he does. And he's
I
good.
can see it now. Yes.
Yeah, you can.
My axe.
I was so tempted to consummate a joke during the film, but I didn't.
I would have liked for him to keep his kill count.
And King Riku is played by Jimon Honsu, who was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and Captain Marvel, of course. One little cameo I want to point out as well, because obviously I was pointing out the fact that obviously James Wan was half the creator of the Saw franchise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, do you know the cargo pilot in the desert scene? He's like, oh, she didn't have a parachute. What the hell? He was played by Lee Whannell, who was the other half of the Saw creator. He's the one who made The Invisible Man.
It's like he got his director friend in. He's like, "Hey, run join me in a movie." Sure, yeah.
Wait, he's in it. Well, Lee Whannell's in like all the Insidious movies. He's in like all 4 of them. He even directed one of them. He directed the 3rd one. But yeah, I just thought I'd point out that little cameo there. Okay, so I'll move on then to the story segment. And obviously the story goes, Arthur gets thrust into the undersea life, under the sea, when his half-brother Orm declares war on the surface world, forcing him to go on an adventure to find the mythical trident of King Atlan, the only weapon that can win the war. And it's a good story. Obviously, there's a lot of twists and turns throughout. Obviously, him going on this adventure. Obviously, you have the Black Panther fight for the throne scene, which is obviously a bit more swimming around than fighting in. Wait, they're both fighting water. Huh.
Intriguing connection to make there, Thomas.
But yeah, obviously there's more twists and turns. So they go to they have to go to the deserts. They have to go to the trench. They have to go into the dinosaur fucking world, essentially. They get you have to fight bad guys along the way. Meet toilet guy. And I do very much enjoy the story. Once again, it's a solid story.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty generic story.
Most superhero movies are generic stories, end of the day.
It's like a generic like action like adventure kind of movie, but
it checks out.
It's fun to watch, and it's definitely up there on the good like side of DC films.
Yeah, this is like the turning point where they're so obviously because they're the rough patch of that certain Justice League movie. So obviously you had the 4 movies before, which was obviously in a lot of people's eyes up and down at times. Then you obviously had the Justice League movie, which was down. Then obviously it did go on a streak of essentially 3 movies that were up before hitting a certain Wonder Woman movie that went down. So hopefully the next batch of movies go up. Wait, there's pretty much like a recurring theme of near enough 3 or 4 movies that do a decent job before there's one that fucks it up. Then there's another batch of... Oh, so that means Suicide Squad, Batman, and Flash, maybe even Aquaman are going to be solid movies.
Yeah, and then
You probably whatever one's next go. Oh wait, no, shit. Black Adam's in there. Aquaman's the last one of that list. Oh, sorry, Aquaman 2, you're gonna suck.
Oh well, sequels are always worse than the original.
Yeah, you usually are.
I'm not sure Spider-Man 2 or 3.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll move on then to the cinematography, and it's again outstanding cinematography, especially with the fight scenes. The fight scenes are fucking really well shot.
Definitely, I think it's probably the best cinematography they've ever had. I think, like for these films, not counting Schneider's
Justice
beautiful
League.
cut, but like for the like official like ones, the best cinematography they've done. Just beating Wonder Woman, I think, specifically because of the fight scenes.
So the fight scenes are very unique, and not even just fight scenes. 'Cause obviously, whenever it goes underwater, it goes full screen. Whenever it's like a sort of cinematic shot, it goes all like widescreen. And no, I hate that in fucking one of the Transformers movie because it constantly fucking does it. This it works because it's like it's not like constant. It's like every now and again it cuts this cinematic to get you looking at this sort of, oh yeah, okay, this is meant to be like a cinematic panning shot. That's fine. And it's then back underwater, full screen. Oh, beautiful. Oh.
Yeah, I like as well how they I actually did it most of it underwater. Like, well, physically, I mean, like the actual shot like they came up with, all of the action scenes, they look like they are really underwater.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. It's really fucking good. Like a lot of people would probably be scared to like actually like have the fight scene underwater and have excuses for them to be up on the surface. Whereas these that they don't shy away from it. So it's brave but done good.
agreed. Okay. Okay. Talk about the score then, and for me, this is probably one of my favorite DC scores. It's got a very sort of tribal beats to it, but then it's also got this obviously like Black Manta's theme. It sounds very fucking menacing. Aquaman's theme itself. I think it's called "Permission to Come Aboard." The theme is, and that dun-dun-dun, that bit just makes me go, "Oh!"
Just a little bit. Ooh.
Yeah, there it is. Permission to come aboard.
I remember because that's like my work soundtrack at the moment.
Oh.
Black Manta's is the easiest to remember because it's literally just called Black Manta. But I mean, Permission to Come Aboard is a very fucking great track, and even obviously, I like the end credit song as well, which is Born on the Ocean, I believe it's called, or The Wrong Side of the Ocean. Google, help me out.
What am I looking for?
The end credit song, I think it's like Born on the Ocean.
Born.
Man, we must have a really bad connection for Google.
I know, yeah.
This doesn't look like it.
My favourite score was
that is not it.
My favourite score was Mirrors, which was the police sirens coming after her.
For fuck's sake.
Oh no! And it goes, "You're under arrest." Beautiful.
Oh no! I found Ocean to Ocean, but no, that's the Pitbull song.
Yeah, no,
get that off.
It's called Everything I Need. That's what it's called. Everything I Need. I was completely off.
The range down in Africa.
Oh god, yeah, the Toto remix.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I'd just been disappointed by the fact they just added Pitbull into the movie, and then it hit me with a Africa remix. I was like, yes! The score's gone back up to a 10.
It's funny because obviously Sharknado beat them to that sort of sequence of them coming out the water in a more really like sexual sort of manner. Sharknado did it before them. And they crash landed in fucking...
They didn't have Jason Momoa.
I think they crash landing in Universal Studios, like in the fucking water part, and they come walking out of the ocean like that. But yeah, he doesn't have Jason Momoa, so he doesn't win. But yeah, I really enjoyed the score. Even like the one that's quite creepy is the trench theme.
Mhm.
That's like really fucking. That's really fucking. Whoa.
I mean, it needs to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, and obviously that's matched with the cinematography as well, because the cinematography on the
Mhm.
trench sequence is fucking outstanding.
It definitely feels like it's dark, it's gritty. You feel like they're going to die, and unfortunately, they both survive. We want one of them to survive, not the other.
So that's why I'm upset they fucking cancelled the trench movie. I was really looking forward to what James Wan could have done with that, because a full-on horror-focused movie focused on the trench would have been very interesting. And if it came up, if he did it right, which I think James Wan would have, it would have been a really like good and unique movie. But obviously, Warner was just like, nope, pull the plug.
Yeah, because they have no idea how to make good decisions.
Basically,
I mean,
yeah, I think from me, this might just overtake Snyder's Justice League score just about, or the very neck and neck, I will say, because I do really like this movie's theme track. It's very neck and neck.
I think I still prefer Wonder Woman, but I think it's still good in my eyes.
I find it funny that last year Spotify told me that film score was my favorite genre of music, yet I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about.
On that note, we'll move on then. So obviously next up is the special effects of the movie, and they are very good. The hair in the water looks really cool. And it's all flown in the water, because obviously that's clearly special effects.
Yeah, unless you're all.
Yeah, because he doesn't have his hair out. But yeah, the hair looks cool. The final battle. That obviously, because the thing with this film, they had to get the special effects right, because if it all being pretty much special effects based, and if they got it wrong, the movie's gonna suck balls. And they did not get it wrong. The final fight, especially the fucking Tarakan, when it fucking burst, that looked really good. And even when it was above water in the daylight, because as you know, Hayden, obviously the darkness sometimes can shroud and make CGI look better than it actually is.
Yeah.
Because obviously then you put it into light and it looks dreadful. But even when it's on land, I think it looks really good. It looks a decent. Obviously, 'cause though it's obviously a bit further away, it still looks a solid looking monster. And even though obviously the people of the creatures of the trench, because obviously I'm assuming most of those are fucking CG, if not all, and they look fucking amazing. The fights look really cool, especially obviously the special effects they're using then.
Yeah, the fish people look cool.
Exactly, the fish people look very cool. The fucking the crab people look very cool. The crustaceans.
I really like the crab people.
Crabs are people. Crabs are people. But yeah,
legit or quit, and they are legit.
I've got no complaints with the special effects. I love the wine scene as well, where the wine turned to spears. That was cool.
That was almost a perfect scene.
Hayden, whatever told you it's banned, that subject is.
What?
Talk about the special effects.
Emilia Clarke was better there. That's what I'm saying.
Talk about the special effects.
I did not notice that the wine turned into spears because I was still riling off the higher toilet guy.
James had down the toilet wine.
Oh god. I mean, I even like the fucking shark look cool as well.
Yeah, fucking look really cool.
Which is, as I've seen enough fucking shit shark films now when there's a shit CGI shark and when there's
to
a
be
good
fair, yeah, that's a very good point. We've been shown enough terrible CGI shark films to know that those sharks look good.
Yeah.
I've got Deep Blue Sea too. Which is also Warner Brothers movie. Just pointing that out there.
Warner Bros. For you lose some and you win some.
Basically.
But then you keep on losing.
Basically.
But yes, CGI was done really fucking good. I think they had to do it good because obviously for them, most of the film is underwater, so it needs to look fucking amazing.
Underwater.
Yeah, it needs to look like if it's distracting you from it, then it's a really bad film.
Yeah, because even if the quality of the movie itself is really good, if that CGI is bad, you're distracted straight away.
Mm-hmm.
And say if the
Okay.
story is good, if everything else is good, as soon as that CGI is fucked in any sort of way, you're drawn away to that CGI completely, and that's it. Your movie experience is gone. So credit where credit's due. They
Yeah,
did
it's
well.
like an Infinity War when you're on this high of the Stormbreaker breaking through all of these like Thanos' army, and then all you hear is, "Yeah, you guys are so screwed now," and it just breaks it.
If you didn't know, James is Hayden's go-to bad CGI reference.
It really is.
Right.
I love that scene, but that bit ruins it.
Agreed, 100%.
Yep.
Uh,
Okay, we'll then move on and talk about the action of the movie. And as I've already said, the action is outstanding. There's a lot of like little fight scenes. Obviously, I'm not gonna go through them as I usually do. James, that's the new thing that we don't fully go through in every single one. Obviously, you've got the opening fight scene, which we spoke about, which is really uniquely done from the cinematic point of view. It's spinning round. Arthur's fight on the sub.
Yeah.
When obviously the permission to come aboard scene happens, which is very humorous.
Mhm.
And then Hayden said you use Captain America at one point and has to fucking beat the crap out of him. That's really good. Obviously, that sets up the whole Black Manta vengeance towards him, which is obviously really good.
You kill my father.
I like the uniqueness as well when you see obviously Arthur utilising a lot of like say like in a sense a lot of times some of it's Samoan, like that sort of like type of like fighting and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
if you listen to his obviously vocab, it's like obviously New Zealander sort of Samoan type stuff, and that blends in really well. Obviously, that shows how obviously completely different Aquaman is to obviously his more comic version,
Mm.
and obviously,
Comic books is shit.
yeah, and obviously the Ring of Fire fight is very done in a good way. So obviously, that obviously though it's not like a complete fight, it's done up to the point of a certain someone. I'm not going to say the name because Hayden's going to jab it instantly. Getting involved, obviously. It does well to keep like, the audience entertained and like really drawn into this like really cool fight between these two underwater. Like this is getting really interesting.
And it makes you realise he actually needs a trident.
Exactly. And obviously the second fight with Black Manta when he fully goes Black Manta. Obviously where we get to introduce the toilet guy, James's favourite character. I do love that scene. And then obviously the last fight of the movie. It's built up this massive fucking epic sort of action sequence. Everyone's flying everywhere. Two sides colliding. Explosion, explosion, CGI. Explosion, explosion. Aquaman comes in. Explosion, explosion. Everyone's...
Michael Bay took over.
Yeah, did you know?
No.
Amber Heard's getting replaced by Megan Fox. Explosion, explosion.
Well, I'm fine with that.
And obviously builds up then to the obviously Aquaman Ocean Master fight, where again it showcases their different skill sets. So him now on that land, where obviously he struggled in the underwater fight. Now he needs to take him to land, which is where he's the better of, and obviously revenge with the whole trident breaking. And of course now he's in his more comic accurate suit, but obviously they've updated it to make it look really cool. They made it look a lot, less cheesy. And obviously, I haven't any thoughts at all of any of the action in this movie. I think every single one's really good, and I do really like the final battle because, again, that brings you back to special effects. If they fucked up in any way in the special effects in that final battle, that's it, you're gone. And as you said when watching it, Hayden, they actually made Aquaman's powers look really cool during this fight.
Yeah, because normally the idea of someone talking to fish is absolute shit. But the fact that like they had not just fish, but they had all these unique creatures, it made things a lot better. Like, and it looked fucking cool. Like, even he looked like he was a demigod. Like he was strong and powerful. Which is what you want, really.
Exactly.
Because you don't want the ship like.
I'm riding a seahorse everywhere. You want
Look at my
explosion,
dolphin!
explosion!
To be fair, the seahorses in the movie did look pretty cool.
They look very
Yeah.
badass.
They did.
Because normally, when you see them lining up at the first meetings of like the two kingdoms, when you see a line of seahorses versus a line of sharks, you think, well, obviously the sharks are going to win, but the seahorses, they definitely at least look like they'd put up a fight.
They look
Definitely.
like horses, basically.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah. They made the seahorses act like horses, but it kind of worked.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. James, thoughts on the action?
Actiony.
Thanks for that, James.
Hey, why do we invite him on these?
So you can distract from my weird comments about Amber.
Good point. Moving on. Oh no. James, you get to sit back even more now, and I get to sit back with you because it's Hayden's editing section.
Don't worry, it only lasts about a few seconds.
Yeah. It's just like Hayden in general. Hey!
Well, editing was good, just like most of them, really. I mean, there's nothing really different about the editing. The only time I've ever seen a film and did good was Justice League. That was because it was unique. But this one was pretty good, and the only improvement I would have had is the edited out.
Oh god, no.
It would have been so much better if that, but you know, with
Okay.
what had, you know, they didn't know that she was an utter bitch.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah, hindsight
Mm-hmm.
is a thing, and they didn't know, so shut your mouth.
We're gonna move on.
When they did know, they tweeted "Happy Birthday" to her.
We're moving on to the
Yeah.
pacing of the movie, and as usual, I have no issues with the pacing. It flows.
Mhm.
That's not a joke for the fact there's water, so it flows.
I didn't get that.
It flows just fine. I don't see any issues. Obviously, you start at the beginning, then you cut so many. Obviously, when he's actually Aquaman post Justice League,
Yeah.
Then he obviously slowly brings him into this new world, and then he obviously has to keep going on this adventure. Then comes back into this world to fight, and then goes off to become the Aquaman again. I have no issues. I think pacing is fine.
I don't think you drown in the pace, so it's pretty good.
Did you get that one, James?
Yeah, I got that one immediately.
Because he was waiting.
I personally really quite like how they start the film all on the surface, on the land, and then take it, like to the shore when Aquaman's training with the advisor guy, and then deeper into the ocean. So I like that touch.
That's the most we've got of you, other than you crying over possibly dead dog, more than likely dead dog.
It is. I think, yeah.
I mean, quite hard to get anything out of him though.
Just dust.
Jeez.
Dust. We'll move on to the production design, and I think it's spot on. The costumes look incredible.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, as you said, the Aquaman armor he gets at the end, the more comic accurate, but obviously altered into an actual armor, looks fucking really good.
Yeah.
I don't have anything wrong with any of the costume. Black Manta, as I said, fucking his outfit looks outstanding in this movie now. Obviously, Ocean Master looks more comic accurate than any of them. Obviously, throughout the movie, and obviously then he obviously gets the mask that's exactly like it is in the comics. That sort of obviously silver and red eyes.
But he doesn't look shit.
Exactly. And obviously the sets, when obviously they actually use properly sets, look really good. And even obviously the sets that are very clearly special effects that are merged alongside actual sets look really good. So I have no issues with the production of this movie. It looks outstanding, as usually as we've been saying the last God knows how many fucking DC movies we've done. The production design is outstanding again and again.
I'm just waiting for it to all go downhill again.
You mean for Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Don't worry, the production design's actually good as usual, even if it's a bad movie.
Mhm.
It's usually fine with these. Even if it's a bad movie, the production design's usually the good parts.
True, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. We could pretend it doesn't exist and not do it.
Yeah, we have to do it. We have to round it off. Look, if you want to dabble with the Michael Bay verse, you need to do it.
Okay. We'll do this for Megan Fox.
Basically, yes.
Do it for her.
Okay,
Uh,
we'll move on to the script. And again, I have no issues whatsoever with the script. I think the script's fine.
mhm.
The dialogue, obviously, the interactions between characters feels genuine. Obviously, the hate from Orm to Aquaman seems very genuine with his dialogue choices. Same goes with Black Manta towards him. The lines of dialogue seem very obviously genuine and whatnot. Obviously, the romance, the clear fucking obviously boner between Aquaman and Mira's dialogue there is very obvious and it's fine. And just in general, the dialogue for everyone's good. And obviously, we had that little I think his name's Randall Park, the one who plays Jimmy Woo in Ant-Man. When he comes in with his obviously constant, it's people from Atlantis. It's always the people from Atlantis.
Which then at the end leads to him with Manta.
Yeah, I say even though there's even obviously how cringy that scene could be. Obviously the bit in the bar when he's having the pictures taken with that guy. I thought it was quite funny.
Yeah, because you start off, it's really fucking tense. And you
Yeah,
think,
because he's this
yeah,
big
that's
butch
all
like biker gang sort of looking. And he's like, okay, and he's like, can we get a selfie, please? That was obviously quite funny, and especially when it leads into the whole thing of the first few pictures. Like Aquaman's not giving a shit, and then he's just like, woohoo! I'm into this. I'm getting drunk. Let's do this.
Mm.
That was fucking good.
I think obviously the whole point is obviously your prejudice, right? When you first see them, you think they're going to cause trouble. They look like people who just cause fights for no reason, but actually they're quite like gentle kind of people.
Yeah.
They were fucking terrified of him, really.
So they're more terrified of him than he was of them.
Mm.
Understandable. It's fucking Jason Momoa.
It's like what my mom tells me about spiders.
No, they don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
Oh.
You are more afraid of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Or like you said earlier, I forget which Thor you titled exactly,
Ragnarok.
but that's the one. Yeah, I thought it was, but I didn't want to be wrong. You know what I'm like.
Yeah. Before Dark World, that dialogue was amazing.
Oh my gosh, love it! Like Captain Cold, great character.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, it gives off that vibe of it. It kind of is that more comical side of DC. How Thor has that more comical side of Marvel, but it still absolutely nails the serious relationship between all of the Aquaman and the main villains of, oh, you're the reason my mother's dead. No, you're the reason my mother's dead. Oh, you're the reason my father's dead. No, you're the reason your father's dead.
Yeah, it's like he's like Thor. You see, the whole point of like Thor, he's laughing through the pain because obviously his father's dead, his brother's dead, his sister is evil, and he had to kill her. You know, it's families, right? They're a mess.
Mm. What's that quote? All the greats have daddy issues.
Yeah, I mean, look how fucking powerful Batman is. He's got both mommy and daddy.
As I say, he's just like the Thanos of the DC universe. He's got the ultimate power.
Dead parents. Yeah, the quips are very good. Like the one that's sticking in my mind right now when they're at that temple thing in the Sahara, and she takes his water, and he's like, "Hey, we could have just peed on it."
To be fair though, before he even said that, the first thing he popped was,
Hayden said it instantly when watching it.
I just pissed on that.
And then 5 seconds later, he says it, and Hayden's like, "Oh."
Oh, jumping out of the plane, it's like, redheads, you gotta love them.
Woohoo!
Yeah, great humor, great tension. Good writing. Good job.
Mm-hmm. If only they
James stamp for approval. Don't take that so lightly.
No, well. To be fair though, James's stamp of approval is more worthless than like North Korean currency.
It's not a lot you can do with my stamp of approval.
No.
Okay, now we'll move on to the ending. It's obviously Arthur defeats Orm and becomes king, or his mum and dad get back together, and then he declares himself the protector of the deep, better known as the Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
And
go back into Dolphin.
It's a very solid ending. Obviously, it's Orm and Aquaman still have this brotherly love within them. Like they still have that. They now have this sort of respect because obviously Orm's whole deal was the fact that his mom was dead because of Aquaman, but now she's not. He's like, oh, okay, I kind of misjudged you, dude.
Yeah, he's not gonna betray him.
Yeah, we'll talk at some point. I see. So the mom and dad get this happy ending when they're back together,
Mm-hmm.
and then he obviously name drops himself as the Aquaman as he jumps out of the ocean, which is a really cool shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the ending. I think it's a very good ending to a very solid movie.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I definitely agree. Blup.
Okay, very quick and easy. We'll move on then to the end credit, which again probably really quick and easy. Which is obviously Black Manta's still alive. He's now got, by the look of it, have a scar over his one eye.
He's got Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, he's got Jimmy Woo there, and he wants revenge. So help.
Get Wonder.
What was the character's? I don't actually remember the character's name. Right, the Park's character's name. I don't actually remember it. I think it's because he's very subtle in the movie. It's not, so you fucking never remember his name. But basically, he's like, "Oh, I want to find Atlantis." He's like, "Okay, I'll help you as long as you help me find him." And obviously, he throws a knife into the sign of Aquaman. It ends with that. Dun! But, I mean, I love when you first re-see Black Manta when he's on that the little life rafts, like the bit of like debris he's like hanging on to since he fell off that fucking cliff and smashed his head the entire way down. He's got this massive crack. Obviously, his theme's still there, sort of in the background, like dun, 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 dun. And it's just like, oh yeah, let's get him out. And obviously, then they said he gets helped by Randall Park's character, and it ends with him like pretty much setting up the fact that he could possibly be the main antagonist of the sequel, which I would very much like. I feel like he could definitely do some damage to Aquaman. You saw him do the damage. He's obviously just kind of got a bit too cocky, I think, with his attacks, which is what.
Not as experienced with his new weaponry and armor.
Yeah, I feel like if he has a lot more time and like preparation, I feel like he could, like, actually be a threat. So that's the thing, because he went into that fight with just the whole revenge. Like, he never obviously thought of how is this all going to properly work. How am I going to do this and that? He's just like, I'm just going to kill the motherfucker. I don't care. I'm just going to go in there, kill him, bish bash bash, I'm done. But obviously, it was proven that Aquaman's still the more experienced fighter with the whole swinging, like taking him out, blowing his own fucking helmet off and whatnot. So it's a very nice little end credit tease to the possible future of either this sequel or another sequel.
Yeah, I agree. Was a fun.
Dr. Stephen Shin.
Does it even mention his name within the movie?
I don't think so. That's why I was just scrolling through IMDb for it.
Intriguing.
Kids.
Okay, then. Nothing that covers it. So before we get to the actual ratings, favorite moment time. Hope you thought of one, James, because I'm going to kick us off here. So my favorite moment is it's a very simple moment, very moment sticks within my head, and it's the straight up line of "Call me Black Manta" before he laser beams fucking Aquaman off that build. Then he has that wheeze, he falls down off the fucking cliff. I just love the way the line's done, because obviously within the helmet you see Black Manta's voice is normal, but outside the helmet it's got this more robotic-y side to it, because I do like the audio design of that, and it's just obviously the fact that Arthur's like, he's like, I know you are, you literally the guy that on the sub, I've told you not to make a habit of this, and obviously gets the better of him because he now has Atlantean technology, Atlantean steel, and he's just literally like, oh, you know what, you just call me Black Manta. Blast! There's a lot of scenes in this movie that I could have given this to. As you say, the trench scene, fucking love that sequence. Orm literally saying, "Call me Ocean Master." That was really fucking cool. Obviously Aquaman's permission to come aboard when he lands on the fucking sub early on. That was good. Aquaman calling himself Aquaman at the end. That was good. But I had to give it to Black Manta for the Call Me Black Manta. That's one that's stuck in my head, and it's beautifully done.
For me, I think it's when Aquaman like breaks Orm's trident. I think I like how it comes full circle. That's what caused him to really force him to go get his trident, the new one. And I like how, even though he's all like, "Oh, mine's more superior because my dad made it," blah blah blah, and it turns out, yeah, well, bitch, I've got this magical one. Fuck you, and breaks it. I like that, and it was quite a cool scene.
Yeah, because it was like on a very unique end fight area. Because it was it was like the bottom of a fucking boat that was like capsized. That was a very unique place to have a fight scene.
Mm.
So I do agree. That was a really solid moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm glad you agree with that. Else I would have hired someone to come, hit you. I think you know who it would have been.
Well, you know who you can.
Well, my doors are unlocked now.
Oh, they're always in lockdown, but he comes round.
Come on, James, you're up.
I'm going to start with my least favourite moment of the movie,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
which is within Sicily.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't brought it up yet, has he?
During the fight between Black Manta and Aquaman, where rubble is being spewed all over the town, and you see some guy who's clearly been crushed by a bit of rubble. He gets helped out by the Aquaman, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, he lifted it up and also they dragged him out.
Yep. And then the guy just scurries on off at quite the pace. Legs perfectly intact, just basically runs off.
It more crouches off, but he does.
Yeah,
he does get away with the clearly his legs aren't that bad, even though they're under a building.
Hasty retreat.
Yeah.
As you can see, James has no life and has to pick faults and stuff.
The fact that when this is one actually the few films I went to see in cinema, and the fact that I picked that out when it happened,
That's how you know it's bad, and James picks it out.
I've noticed.
I didn't really pay attention to it. I'm pretty certain I watched this half asleep the first time in cinema. That's my usual. Actually, did I? I think I watched it on the weekend, actually. Scratch that, I wasn't half asleep. I just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, like I said, me and Tom actually have a life. James doesn't.
You don't just sit there and go, yeah, okay. See, when I watch a movie for the first time, I always watch it for enjoyment. It's the later viewings when I dissect stuff. And, as Hayden says, me and Hayden have a life.
It's not like I'm watching something to review it, but that bothered me. Favorite bit is the basically the all-out war between the crab people and the other kingdoms. It really makes me think of, I can't think of the name of the planet right now that they were fighting in Star Wars, the desert planet.
Tatooine? Hope?
Hope's snow planet.
The really not hot. It wasn't hot. The really big fight when the Sith are sending the spires up into the sky and they have to use the dropships to take them down. What? That's the one I'm thinking of.
Well, I can think of it. Wait, is this in
which ones? Prequels or sequels or originals?
You're accusing me of remembering which is which.
The other thing I can think of is one in the clone one.
Yeah, it's the one I'm thinking of, Attack of the Clones.
That's the one, yeah. It really reminds me of that. It's really, really well done. Honestly, I really love the designs of the crab people. They looked really cool.
Oh yeah, they were cool.
And you've got all of the ships that look like different sea creatures, actual sea creatures, explosions, kaboom, kapow, stabbing people. Yeah, cool. That was super cool. That's both my least and most favorite moments.
Okay, then we'll move on then to the pivotal moment of the podcast, which is, of course, the rating of the movie. And for this, as I said, I really enjoyed Aquaman. It was obviously a breath of fresh air after, obviously, Justice League. It had a lot of... It basically looked like it was a lot of fun. Obviously, which is a lot different to the previous... or the previous movies, which are obviously a lot darker, a lot more drearier. So having this full-on full movie that actually worked and wasn't forced, like Cough Cough Justice League was... for me, it really worked. Cinematography is great. I think James Wan does an incredible job, and I can't wait to see him handle the second one in the same sort of manner. So, in terms of ratings, I'm going to give Aquaman a 9 out of 10.
Right. I would say I would give it an 8. It would have had better, but honestly, I can't get over it that she's there. It affects my viewing. It's like whenever I see Kevin Spacey in a film, it affects my.
That's my job.
It took James's one job. He took his job!
Yeah, I think if she wasn't there, or if they replace her, which they better fucking do, I think it would probably improve the sequel. Like
Okay.
it me appreciate the films more. But while she's there, it just affects too much. I can't get over it. So
Okay,
you know,
okay, James.
deal with
Yeah,
it.
there are certainly events that can happen that can affect things that you would have liked more before. Okay, so for mine, when I first watched it, I actually watched it with people that I used to work with. It was like a work outing kind of dealio, and my opinions at the time were very much shaped by the fact that a lot of the ones that I watched it with were kind of meh about the film. They found it to be alright at best. So that kind of really, and the fact that the main thing that stuck in my mind from the film was that Sicily moment.
And the fact they were telling you to go away from them.
He wasn't even meant to be there. Who the hell invited this guy?
No, I was invited. This time I was invited.
He didn't just tag along, hoping to get in.
You saying I'm inviting myself does not mean you're invited.
Okay. So yeah, a lot of my opinions at the time were based upon those that kind of just said like it's to the general consent, the mass consensus. We live in a society of it being an alright film. So yeah, at the time I thought it was it was alright, but after rewatching it, I like it. Essentially same deal with Suicide Squad really. I liked it a lot more the second time around. Not letting the opinions of others shape it for me, even though you two probably are poking me with a stick right now, telling me that it's a good film.
Actually, it's a trident I'm poking you with. It's right behind me.
Oh, of course, right. Yes, sorry. How did I get that wrong? So for my original rating was like a 6 or a 7. So for my Chatter Cave rating, I'm going to go for 6.78, rounded up to an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I got it was out of 10. I was getting very confused at this 6.7. I was like, wait, is he going to say? Is he saying 7 here or what? No, it's
Thomas is muted, so let's take over, Hayden.
Oh shit! Yeah. Sorry.
Amber Heard. Boo!
Am I back?
It's just like the moment in the film for you, like when Amber Heard shows up, where all the people
I'm back.
Start booing her.
I really need to stop using my number pad to type number 8 and 9. That's a very.
Just hang on. Let me press my tilde key.
For fuck's sake. Okay.
Yeah, that's my shortcut for muting and deafening.
Okay, so that gives
the video game Among Us that we don't play anymore.
That gives Aquaman a Chatter Cave overall rating of 8.3 recurring. Or 8.3. Yeah, exact same as Suicide Squad, but I'm the 9 this time round instead of the 8, which was me last time. Basically, Hayden stayed in the same number. We replaced each other, James.
So I'm the host now?
No, I would never trust you to host anything. Heck, if fucking Mugcast ever happened, I ain't trusting you with that. Go on, Craig, get in here.
Really?
Okay, so we'll move on to the Chattercave MVP award, and this time we actually did fucking think of it in advance. So the Chattercave MVP award this week goes to Arthur Curry, Aquaman, Jason Momoa, obviously, because he's the standout of the movie. He's incredible as always, and it's fucking Jason Momoa. He makes Aquaman a fucking ridiculous, dumb character. Fucking feel like he's a threat, and you can take him seriously. Even when he's joking, you can take him fucking seriously.
My favourite character was the
Wait, James. We're not getting to James's world just yet. Hayden, would you like to talk a bit more about our choice?
I think obviously Jason Momoa definitely is going to be. I agree with being like the best one because I like how he's the one that makes the jokes, but it's more serious and like he has his moments where he's serious. But everyone else isn't the comical character. You know what I mean? He's like that's what makes it work. It's not like everyone's making jokes the whole fucking time. It's more of he cracks his sarcastic comments every now and then, but it fits and it works. And the idea is you're never going to really take Aquaman that serious. So why should we? I like that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
100% agreed. And now, James, for James's world's MVP is Toilet Guy.
Yes.
James, give your definition of why Toilet Guy wins James's world's MVP.
Well, as you pointed out, he's kind of like budget Juggernaut. I love how he goes through bashing his way through all the buildings to chase after a certain character who will not be named. And then obviously when he gets his helmet, the back of it opened up and all of his water floods out, he has to look for a source of water, and the only one he can find is a toilet. So he has to dash his own head into a toilet, which is really funny. And he does actually have wider purpose in the film, because he is actually shown before talking to Orm, I believe Orm.
Mm.
You mean the guy still with some Power Rangers? That guy. The guy from Power Rangers is basically Toilet Guy.
Red Ranger.
Black Ranger.
Black Manta. Great, right?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Supposed to be a fucking DC fan, Jesus.
Sorry, I apologise for my actions. And
If only he did.
I was gonna make a joke, but I thought no. And yes, we are interrupting you, James. Sorry. We're gonna carry on interrupting you. We're moving on. No, I'll let you do it. Don't worry.
Well, no, I didn't really. That's literally all he does in the film. Is he runs through walls. He Kool-Aid mans through walls, through mans. Yep. Sticks his head in the toilet, gets beat up, and talks to somebody at some point. Second place goes to Jason Momoa. Third, William Dafoe.
James, you're going too far. We don't do third places here.
Okay.
We actually do runner-up, a single runner-up.
Oh yeah, runner-up Jason Momoa.
Because our actual Chattercave runner-up is Black Manta, Yahya Abdul-Mateen 2. I actually said that a lot better this time. And he's obviously a villain that sticks in your mind a bit more, because he's not this sort of whiny villain like Orm can be. He's just more. He's this one. Obviously, he watched his dad literally pretty much blow up, and now he wants revenge. And obviously, he's the one that you take the most serious, because he's the one that seems like the most threat worthy. He's not literally trying to take over a kingdom. He's literally just wants one person dead, and that's why I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in the sequel or sequels as more of a threat going forward than just this sort of appetizer before the big end fight.
Yeah, I mean, I like how pretty much it's the result of Aquaman choosing to like let his father that guy's father die, and it's caused him to want revenge, even though this is the reason why he wants revenge on Orm, because he thought he killed, like his father killed
His mother.
So it's like I like how it's like it's all coming circle. Pretty much his
good connection there. Well done, Hayden.
His actions caused Black Manta to exist, really.
Essentially, yeah. Some of this movie, let's be fair, full circle a lot of times. A lot of things do go full circle within it, but still leave a little bit of space in that one circle for more.
In the words of Jeff Goldblum, life finds a way.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll move on then to the question of the day. And the question of the day is, what are you looking for within Aquaman 2? And don't say no Amber Heard, Hayden. I've had enough already.
More
I'm broke here.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
That's why I wrote on my notes, don't say no Amber.
Okay, I'm looking forward to Emilia Clarke joining.
Oh, for fuck's sake. She found a way around. I keep hitting my mic off!
For the first time.
James, any input? Because Hayden's...
I don't know. I don't know what happens in the comics.
Yeah, what would you like to see coming from within this movie, basically, for example? Like, what character would you like to see come... You'd like to see Toilet Guy return?
Yeah, just have him come back. I want to see his revenge story.
He walks around with a toilet in his head.
Yeah. That's my vision entirely. Worst question of the day answers ever.
Ever.
So you're saying you'd rather have...
You have to say it properly. Ever.
Yeah, that's probably the best place to call it. That's probably the best place to call this.
Oh, I've just realised IMDb gave it a 6.9 out of 10. That's funny.
Yep, definitely a good place to call this. That's it for JK Podcast this week. Join us next week as James sticks around and we bring Alex on.
Again.
We're discussing Shazam or Captain Marvel. There you go, Hayden. I said it.
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, is that the first timer there? Not first time. It's going to be a first timer at something. Hey.
Yeah, I was about to say, they say there's a first time for everything, but I'm pretty certain I'm dying alone. Oh, plenty of fish in the sea. That's a good joke to make right now.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for you, they're all gone.
Anyway, I've been your host, Dranking Thomas Hughes. That's been Hayden, no Amber Heard, Roberts, and James, Toilet Guy's been here as well.
Hey, I like that.
And it's been Chat Cave Podcast. And James,
yeah,
I've got a movie pitch for you.
Oh, go on then.
I'm going to get you invested.
No, it's Aquaman 2, Electric Boogaloo, Revenge of the Toilet Guy.
Yes! Sign me up. That's what I want. Answer the question of the day. That's what I want.
We get there eventually.
Arrested though.
Hayden. I'm done. Bye.
Look, I'm jealous. Okay, I should live the life I want.
I waved.
What?